imagination.
This is 3D or 2D.com's Duh 3D Show.
Put on your 3D glasses now.
If you're wondering what the 3D stand for, they are discussion, debate, and the news. We hope that you enjoy the show. Get it? The show? Welcome to episode 111 of the 3D Show. I'm Adolf, and I have with me Classic Jake.
Howdy, folks.
Jacob.
Hi, everybody.
And John.
Hello, everybody.
And we actually, this is actually a pretty quick turnaround for us. We recently recorded last episode 110 not that long ago, right, Jake?
Yeah, we're getting quicker. We're out of turtle mode.
We're approaching dog mode.
I mean, it also helps that Disney has a press conference right after we posted our last podcast. They have lots of news to talk about.
Yeah, and 3D. Ooh.
Yeah.
So, just in case you don't know, Disney usually has a D23, which is like a event they host every year now for the last few years, where they get to announce a bunch of stuff, and sometimes you get to see some trailers. It's like, how Comic-Con was, but just for Disney stuff. But if you're in person, you could actually see trailers there that maybe you don't get to see, and panels and such. I've never been to D23, but I'd be interested.
Same.
All right.
Yeah, Disney, put us on the list.
Yeah. We need our press passes.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I would love to, but I don't know how that would work. So let's get to the different stuff here. I guess the first thing is a pretty big trailer. This movie we've known about for a long time, and we've never known the controversial aspect of this movie, but we finally got a teaser trailer for this movie, and boy, did people hate it.
Mm-hmm. I don't get the hate.
Little Mermaid is coming back and in live action, and Ariel is black.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts all around. John.
Yeah, I don't care about that at all. To me, all movies, comics, all that stuff is creative. And, if you're going to reboot something, you have the opportunity to have a new creative vision. I can't say I'm overly excited for the Little Mermaid live action, but the quality I thought of the teaser trailer was good. But I'm with you guys. I don't understand why people get so worked up. There's more things in life to worry about in my book.
Yeah, it's just man babies or racist or just people like, it's a fictional character who happens to be a mermaid. Who cares what color they are? Just let them be.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched Abraham Lincoln kill vampires. I'm not really worried about Little Mermaid being black. So
nobody said a word about that. They're
no.
They're ruining the good name of Abraham Lincoln by making him a murderer.
Well, there's some good 3D in that Blu-ray, by the way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Jake, what are your thoughts on this controversy?
Well, when I first heard about it, my first thought was, isn't Halle Berry a little old to be playing Ariel? Then I realized completely, and I said, I'm keeping my mouth shut because that sounds racist. But damn, I'm just amused at the stupidity of people having an absolute fit about this. I'm like going, I mean, I could see a point maybe if Hans Christian Andersen's story was not set in the Caribbean, but I'm like, actually, I don't see a point. I guess racists got to be racist, but damn, I'm like, really? Anyway, I thought these people were boycotting Disney anyway.
Apparently not. They're secret boycotting.
So you can't keep going to boycott if you're already boycotting. That's not the way boycotting works.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they boycott their boycott, aren't they then watching?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They just want to complain. They just want to complain and talk about, it's not my Little Mermaid, and they had to change things up for being woke, and it's just they want a bitch to be bitching.
Hashtag not my Ariel.
I mean, if it's not your Ariel, that's fine. Because the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible is not my Mission Impossible. But I'm not going to sit here and scream and yell and complain about it. I don't care.
Not everything has to be for everybody. It could be for certain people.
If it's not for you, it's not for you.
It's okay. But
yeah, life goes on.
Under the sea, under the sea.
She was singing in this trailer, and it was gorgeous sounding. So
yes,
she definitely has the pipes for this. And to defend you, Jake, I was kind of thinking the same thing when I heard the name. They do sound very similar in how the names are, but they're just pronounced a little bit differently. But they're like one letter different. So I didn't know of Hailey career beforehand. So yeah, I understand how you felt that. Oh wait, I thought she's like I mean I loved her work before that, but I didn't know she'd be young enough for that.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be appropriate to cast for a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I really hope that Disney planned for this. I think they know what they're getting themselves into. They're smart. And all the mermaids are different races.
Oh, yeah.
That they're living in harmony and peace, and they don't care about other races. They're just, different. And they're just like, okay, yeah, I don't care. Your skin color is different. That skin color different. And just have a whole set of mermaids be different colors and races and ethnicities and different hair colors. And yeah, sure. Because we had a whole bunch of different mermaids in the original. They just had different hair colors. You could easily change them to be just a whole, diverse set of mermaids and different species, different, races and colors and hair colors and such.
Now, what worries me is Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
Yeah, that could be troubling.
Yes.
Because Lizzo tried out for the role and didn't get it. And I don't know how she is as an actress, but as a singer, she's phenomenal. And even Melissa McCarthy, they met up with each other and and Melissa McCarthy herself said, "Why the hell was I cast?" So that kind of worries me.
So is she more than a voice in it then?
Yeah, she's supposed to be like doing the full thing, I think it's going to be performance capture. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
and,
she's probably
there's a reason she's not in the trailer right yet. I have a feeling it's going to be bad.
Her husband, as long as her husband's not directing her, I have a little more hope.
He's going to be King Triton.
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm joking. It's Javier Bardem.
oh, thank God. Don't scare me like that. I mean, just some people shouldn't do a lot of movies together because their track record is pretty bad, which is a shame because Melissa McCarthy has done some good stuff, but unfortunately, a lot of really, really bad stuff.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just one of those things where people just want to get upset, and they could change things up, and people get upset. Oh, they didn't change enough stuff. Okay, there's no way of winning with these remakes. Disney's gonna remake them because they can make money, and time again, they've made tons of money on these remakes. So it's just logical to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. I get why Disney does it. I don't get why people hate it. But people are going to hate everything that's different or not exactly the same as it was. But yeah, the first trailer, it was a little bit dark at scenes, but when you did see some of the ocean floor, it looked gorgeous, and like how they panned that camera could look really, really good in 3D.
Let's hope it's like Avatar level, like Avatar 2 level 3D with the water.
Yeah, that coming out next year, I think, or no?
Yeah, it comes out next Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have a whole suite of potential 3D movies with water, with Avatar 2, Little Mermaid, Aquaman 2.
If we ever get to see Aquaman 2.
Yeah, it's been postponed yet again.
A full year.
All right, let's keep going here. We got a new trailer for the Secret Invasion TV show from Marvel, starring Jackson. And it looks
Samuel L.
great.
Jackson?
Yeah, Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson. Yeah. I think it looks great. It looks like a fun political thriller, and it really looks like you don't know who's who.
Kind of like the Winter Soldier Part 2, sort of, or a spin-off of the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. Or this, or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Part.
No.
Yeah, I think weren't they at one point talking about a Nick Fury solo movie? And it seems like this might actually have been the answer to that, where he's finally going to be featured, but it'll tie into all the basically the fourth or the fifth Marvel line. I don't know which year we're at now. I guess that'll be 4.
I think that'd be Phase 5 because Phase 4 ends with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Shang-Chi and them are Phase 4 still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't know. I thought it looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
it's just a shame it has to be connected to Captain Marvel, but I mean,
well, that got his secret origin, so I guess this will be his biopic.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it follows the comic line at all.
Right.
Probably similar to what Civil War did, and just pick bits and pieces from it, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing about Secret Wars is, Secret Invasion. I keep thinking Secret Wars. This is going to be perfect for after the snap. Now, this could have happened during the snap. In those 5 years, you could easily see how some of the different leaders were, maybe they got different people listening. Or, like, you could see how during the snap, those 5 years, that some of the aliens would just impersonate certain people, and they could get away with it for like 5 years, and you didn't know. And then when they come back from the blip, oh, this president is back. Wait, I thought he was already back. That's just how you could do that really easily for Secret Invasion. I think it's really ripe for that idea. I don't know about y'all.
Mm-hmm.
What if they introduced Mystique from
X-Men?
The X-Men?
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of potential here, and the Skrulls, we learned that there were good guys, but definitely there's more than just a couple of good guys. It might be dozens, if not hundreds, of Skrulls that are bad guys. So that's where it gets complicated. And how do you tell a difference between a Skrull and a human?
Maybe we'll get Super Skrull out of it. It'll tie into the Fantastic Four.
Well, that seems more than likely.
Now, I do worry that this being a TV show, it's people may not watch it, so they may lead to the next movie, and it may be a lot of people lost, because this might seem like it's, some of the TV shows feel like they're independent, but some of them feel like they're really dependent, and that you watch them. So maybe this might be one of those that you have to watch, because if you don't watch it, you will be kind of screwed seeing the next Avengers movie,
Yeah. I'm wondering if Zemo is going to be in Secret Invasion.
Or Thunderbolts.
He's definitely in Thunderbolts, right?
Don't know.
We don't know. He wasn't in any of the promo material. Which why I'm just kind of saying, well, you wondered why the internet is having a meltdown about Thunderbolts? You didn't mention Zemo, and Zemo is a big deal in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you don't have to have Norman Osborn, and you can have almost anybody run it, whether it's Valentina or Justin Hammer. I mean,
yeah.
But Thunderbolts was Zemo's baby.
Just need somebody with money to run it.
Yeah.
Valentina, U.S. government.
Hammer too. Hammer's actually a good point. They could bring him back.
Yeah.
I mean, if they could bring back Tim Blake Nelson from Hulk, why not?
Yeah, right.
Play Justin Hammer again.
Oh yeah, he's so good in that. He's the best thing in that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, he was so good in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Now,
He
is
is.
Thunderbolts a movie or a TV show? I got confused sometimes with the Marvel stuff.
I want to say
think
it's a film.
I think it's a film. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
So,
It
quick
looks
question.
We're gonna be a Black Widow movie for the Blonde Widow.
I guess not.
Quick
I mean,
question for y'all. I'll go ahead.
half the characters seem to be not traditional Thunderbolt members, but Yelena's family of sorts. Taskmaster and Red Guardian, and
Well, there's actually not too many from the original comic in that group. I don't think. Are there?
I mean, I don't have a problem with that because Thunderbolts is like Suicide Squad. I mean, guys,
Oh.
turned in.
Okay, yeah, that's my question. I was the answer I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, is this like Suicide Squad? And you just answered that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like their version. A bunch of anti-heroes.
Fanboys whine when you point that out, but it is. So what?
Yeah, right. And Avengers and Justice League are the same too. So who cares?
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
yeah. Except Avengers was always cooler because up until Bendis, the Avengers used to have a lot of characters that Marvel didn't know what to do with them. They didn't have their own books, so they just threw them in the Avengers,
Yeah.
which made that book so fun because you got to read characters you liked, but didn't have that couldn't float a monthly title. But Justice League was always DC was like going, we're putting our big guns, the guys who have and we're gonna force these characters. You're gonna They would go Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are our big characters, so we're putting them in everything.
Mm.
And then they kept doing the spin-offs, the Justice League West Coast and Justice League North. And same thing with Avengers. They had, West Coast Avengers and Northern Michigan.
Well, the only Justice League I really liked was Keith Giffen when he took just the Z-listers and made them act like prima donna rock stars with overinflated egos. That stuff was awesome.
Yeah, that was so. There's great humor in those issues.
For at least 2 laugh out louds when you're issue.
Well, he really made Guy Gardner a celebrity. I mean, he's
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
Manhunter was everybody hated that character. Now I can't look at a pack of Oreos without thinking of him.
All right, let's get back to Thunderbolts here. Let's get to the cast here, and we're going to mention the names of the. We have Ghost here, which was from the second Ant-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
Red Guardian, which was from the Black Widow movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David Harbour. Good choice. I love David Harbour.
Mm-hmm.
We have Yelena Belova, which is the new Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The Winter Soldier, which has been in several movies, but obviously the Winter Soldier, Captain America movie.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Agent, which was in the Captain America and the Winter Soldier or TV show.
Falcon. Yep.
Falcon.
Yep.
And Taskmaster, which was in one of the TV shows, I think, right?
Oh, she was in
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Yeah, okay. So all these characters are going to get joined together into one group, and they're going to do things, and it makes a good, okay, cool. We have some of these other characters that are not Avengers, because we don't really have a quote-unquote Avengers right now, because most of the Avengers are now separated or dead.
Okay. Well, at one time in the comics, the Thunderbolts were dressed up to be the Avengers, and they were nicknamed by fans the Dark Avengers because they dressed them up to pretend to be the Avengers. So I don't know if they do that. And I also don't know if Thunderbolt Ross's character is going to be involved because that's who they were named after.
Yeah, maybe they explain away the actor's death and that they want to name it after him or something. Because the actor was great. He recently died. I don't remember his name top of my head. But yeah, that was his main character. That was how they did this.
Personally, I wish they would recast I mean, yeah, I know they hate recast, but I mean, Marvel's recast so many times. I mean, I could see Sam Elliott stepping in; it would be perfect.
That would be good.
So yeah, we don't really have an actual Avengers per se, because obviously, spoilers for Captain Avengers Endgame, which I'm sorry, at this point, if you haven't seen it, you don't care. I don't think.
Yeah.
Nope.
Iron Man is dead. Captain America is 90s, 100s, or he's too old to be
there.
Yeah.
Went back in time to have a life.
Yeah, he basically retired, and now it looks like Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And so we don't have, but we do have another Captain America, because the Falcon inherited that. But that,
Falcon. So I imagine in Cap 4 we're going to see the new Falcon in action, because it looks like Bucky is going to be busy in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Hulk, from She-Hulk, is now off planet, but we don't know what is going on with that.
Yeah, he went to a Sakaar, it looks like.
We do have a new Black Widow in Black Widow, or not Black Widow, Black Widow and Hawkeye, since those got reintroduced in their shows or movies. Mm-hmm. But you wouldn't consider them Avengers because they haven't really met on film screen yet.
And I'm surprised. I'm hoping we've got more characters than what they introduced. Because, I mean, Hawkeye was also a big part of the Thunderbolts, off and on.
Now, would it be the young Hawkeye or the classic Hawkeye?
Classic Hawkeye.
The classic was, but my guess it's going to be her at some point.
Yeah, probably.
I'm more guessing that the new Hawkeye, is going to be in the Avengers.
I think Disney's going to be a bit gun-shy having a Marvel movie led by a female character, because Black Widow didn't do as the numbers they wanted. But then again, it came out under some horrific circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Now, what could be the plot to bring them all together?
I don't know. I mean, Secret Invasion could be part of that. Secret Wars could be part of that.
Avengers stopping. Hey, maybe they're who takes out the Skrulls.
Yeah.
I didn't say this before, but I have it here. William Hurt was the actor that played Thunderbolt Ross. He died in March of this year. So I don't think he filmed anything, but I don't know. They could always. I don't know how that works. But maybe he did something, and maybe they'll recycle something. Maybe they get his likeness. I don't know how they would work that. But they could just recast it and move on. I don't know. That's going to be a decision they have to do.
Yeah, because Thunderbolt Ross in the comics becomes the Red Hulk.
Mm. So that'll be interesting. It's going to be a little bit different. I guess not all of them are bad guys per se. They're more like anti-heroes or misunderstood people. So
yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's keep going here. We got some news on the 5th Indiana Jones movie, and Harrison Ford has said he's done. No more after this for him.
Yeah. I mean, he keeps breaking bones.
Yeah, it's like...
I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
Oh. I don't know. He got my hopes up with his emotional speech, so I hope I'm not let down.
Yeah. I mean, you got a good director it's not Steven Spielberg, but James Mangold. He's done some fine movies.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Logan is fantastic. So hopefully we'll get a nice send-off that way, except without... Hopefully there's no death scene with Indiana Jones, but if so, so be it.
Yeah. I mean, but after the 4th Indiana Jones movie, well, actually, I like Raiders, and the others are varying degrees of meh.
Last Crusade is fantastic.
Yeah, but, I do enjoy Last Crusade a lot.
But I'm just hoping with Mangold on board and that this could bring back the magic of Raiders.
I'm totally fine with Harrison Ford calling it quits after this. It makes sense. He's 80 years old. Let the guy retire, and maybe he could be on TV shows or maybe some dramas.
Voiceover.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be doing some hardcore action. I mean, he could retire characters and move on. Now, I guess a good question is this going to be a sequel, or are they going to just ignore the events of Crystal Skull? Like, is Shia LaBeouf going to come back?
No.
He's not back.
Will Marion be back, though? Because
Indy 4 is going to be ignored, probably.
Yep. I think so, too.
Fair enough. Just saying. That could just be a dream or something.
As long as we don't get a shower scene, I'm good.
Yeah, I think there's very few people that want to see Harrison Ford in the shower.
Yeah, he's got a series coming out with by Taylor Sheridan on Paramount Plus.
1931.
Yeah, it's in that Yellowstone world.
Yeah, that could be really interesting.
All right, we got another announcement here of a prequel to The Lion King, Mufasa: The Lion King, with the same animation style, I guess, of the live action, the newer Lion King. John, what are your
Good
thoughts
director,
on this?
though.
I mean, I'll probably end up seeing it, but it's probably falls in my category of something I never asked for or actually need in my life. I understand why Disney keeps going back to these wells, but I would just, something original, like when WALL-E came out, and I guess even that story is not completely original, but it just felt original with new characters or stuff like that. I'm not these going back to these prequels of legacy, either characters or movies. I just like to see some new stuff, but
yeah, and it's not like there could be any suspense or drama. We know how this ends.
Yeah. I don't know. It really worries me when you look at that schedule for the next 2 to 3 years of Disney's schedule of theater and on Disney Plus, and it's just like between Marvel and Disney and Star Wars, it's just like holy smokes. To have quality control over that, it's just I don't think it's possible. So
I feel bad for the CGI artists who have to work on these movies.
Well, that's why you're getting quality issues, I think. You know what I mean? There's just not enough people, enough time, and
and other markets have decided to do movies in-house. Like a lot of India is like, nope, we can make more money working on projects for India.
Yeah.
More money making projects for the Chinese market. And they want to work us as hard as Disney does.
I look at that schedule, and the person I respect the most is James Cameron. Because he basically says, hey, it's mine. I'm going to take as much time as I want to make it at least as perfect as he believes it can be. And he has a high quality,
And he's the time to do it. As a fan, it's frustrating waiting. And I'm getting older, so but I'm like going, shit, I'm younger than Cameron. If he can wait, I guess I can.
Right. Too. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, hopefully no heart attacks or things like that I get to see them all, but good grief. I'd rather wait for the quality, than have to
then end up with something like New Mutants.
Right. Yeah. Or Mufasa. I just,
because your movies forever, basically. I mean, sometimes you can be like Lucas and go back and change things.
But for the worst in this case.
Yeah, I don't care that Lucas changes his movies or Spielberg. Don't care. What I care about is when they try to obliterate the previous version and act like it didn't exist.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's been my
if he
only
wants,
concern.
I agree with you. If he wants to change it, I'll watch that version. But I want to be able to watch the version I saw when I was 8. You know, but instead I got to try to find some bootleg to be able to even see that. You know, which is sad.
Yeah.
So for Mufasa, I guess they used the same graphic engine that they made for the other movie and just recycle it and update it maybe. Now, I guess the real question is, do they change anything from that graphic style, which was almost perfect? But the issue I had with the movie was essentially that characters didn't have any emotions, unlike the animated original. This new quote-unquote live-action version, you know, do they change that to have more, you know, emotion from the faces, or they just like, okay, whatever, we'll just make it more, you know, 16K instead of 8K or whatever?
Well, I mean, that's going to be up to Barry Jenkins, you know. I mean, he's never done a movie like this. He's always done drama. And, you know, it's going to be like his first big film, so who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and who knows what Chapek, his budget, who knows if he's going to cheap out or not on them.
I'm surprised that Disney's actually making live action remakes of their direct-to-video animated movies now. That's what this feels like. It feels like Lion King 1.5 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
You're waiting for Nathan Lane to pop out and start doing voices.
It'd be better.
All right, John, you have to leave us.
Yeah, I'll keep. Let's keep going. I'll get yelled at. It's okay.
All right, whenever you want to go, just say, "Hey, I gotta go," and we'll let you can go.
All right, boys.
All right, we got here some animated movies, actually new movies from Pixar, not sequels, and a sequel. Now, I don't know anything about these movies besides their name and basically a picture. Elemental, which I guess is about fire and water and gas and all those elemental things. They're now anthropomorphic. What was that, Jake?
I would just say it's Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Watch him! Go planet!
Yeah.
And water. Pretty much, yeah. The elements.
I don't know what the plot of that would be. Anyone know about that or no?
I just seen the art. It looks pretty.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the art from like Inside Out or even what was the jazz one? Soul. Yeah. It reminded me of that.
Speaking of Inside Out.
A good segue. We got Inside Out 2 announced with Amy Poehler returning. I love Inside Out. I think the 3D was pretty weak in that movie, but the movie itself was awesome. There's absolutely no need to have that as sequel. I don't know why they would do that.
Money.
Yeah, I mean, but still, there's no like narrative there that could easily continue that story. It's unless you want to make her a teenager again, or
it could have been a fine TV show idea, like just continuing adventures of the girl or other emotion, like another kid with more emotions, you know,
or put it in a guy's head and call him Herman.
Herman's head.
Or Bongo's Revenge.
I mean, what do you guys think of the Inside Out movie? I guess.
Cash grab.
No, okay, the first one.
I loved it.
Yeah, I love the first one. It's hard to pull off a Toy Story, you know, and have the second one be better than the first. It's hard for any movie, let alone I think an animated movie. But I guess these are so expensive they couldn't afford to do it and put it on Disney Plus, so they gotta release it, I guess.
Jake, what are your thoughts on the original Inside Out?
Incredible.
Okay, so we all love the original.
The emotions of the cat had me howling because that was so true.
I mean, it did make an almost 900 billion, or not 100 billion, but it made about $1 billion. So it made a great amount of money. And the only thing that's weird about it is that I felt like that movie didn't really, people loved it, but it's not like a pop culture thing. Like you don't see memes about it every day, and you know some stuff you know about and talk about for years and years, and some stuff is just popular then. Like you don't see Inside Out toys still in the grocery store aisle or whatever. Like you see of toys for Trolls
or Cars.
Yeah.
or Cars.
I mean, those are easier to market to kids.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to market depression toys.
Now this one is sadness, darling.
Yeah, and honey, here's anger.
Now, we kind of laugh, Jake, but there's actually a video game where it's all about emotions. Jacob, you may have played this game, Super Princess Peach on the DS, where
yes.
you play as Princess Peach and you control the game through her emotions. So if you push on the touchscreen the cry button and she cries, and that way she could, it's such a sexist, stupid game. But just throwing that out there as a, if they want to copy that idea for a video game, I guess, but they probably shouldn't. It's not that great of a game. It's okay game. Jake, what do you think of that game, Jacob?
I liked it. It is sexist, but I mean, I really enjoyed the gameplay. It was unique and different.
So, in probability, it's going to become the next Wreck-It Ralph plot.
You guys know anything about Elio? I don't know anything about that besides the title.
Never even heard of it.
No, nothing.
No. I'm not even sure that's how it's pronounced.
Elio, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like it's something based about the sun. Oh no, that's Helio. I thought you said Helio. I'm sorry. Never mind.
I mean, isn't it interesting how Disney has changed that their animated features were all announced on the first day of D23, which is basically saying this is the least important stuff, and they pushed Star Wars and Marvel to over the weekend where it's got the biggest focus. That kind of jumped out to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, Disney's about to lose their crown jewels are about to go in the public domain, and there's not a damn thing they can do about it.
Yeah.
We got a picture of Elio, and it kind of looks like Legend of Zelda combined with Steven Universe. I guess that's the best way of thinking of that. But we have no idea anything about this movie besides that one picture. They don't say anything about the plot. We have some voice actors here, but Jonas Kabrib, who was in Obi-Wan TV show, is voicing Elio, and America Ferrera was going to voice the mom, Olga. But I mean, I don't know anything about it. It just, my first instinct looking at it, it looks like a boy with an eye patch, and he has a blue cape and wearing green outfit, and there's like all these monsters and maybe a portal he's walking through. So we're just guessing here, but it looks like the first thing looking at it, Zelda clone. But I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, Zelda's been a great video game franchise, so maybe a parallel dimension thing, maybe, I don't know.
Hey boys, I'm a heart out. I got to roll. Appreciate the time. Always great chatting with y'all.
All right.
Catch you later, man.
Yeah, see ya. Well,
See ya.
yeah.
All right. Wish is another animated movie from Pixar that got announced recently. I don't know anything about this one. You guys
I just got a biopic about Wish.com.
Oh, the one where you buy... Is that where you buy the stuff and it comes like 6 months later?
Yeah, and it looks nothing like what you thought it would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And your sweater is like 6 sizes too small.
Yeah. It's the dollar store online, basically.
Yeah. Or the cat store.
Oh. Okay, this sounds terrible. Apparently the new animated movie of Wish, it will tell the story of the Wishing Star's origin story. Like the Wishing Star and Pinocchio.
We don't need an origin story about a wishing star.
Yeah.
Feeling some of these announcements are not gonna see the light of day.
I mean, this is supposed to be their 100th anniversary celebration movie. So, damn.
Why not just make a Mickey Mouse movie?
Seriously.
Yeah, it sounds like another Chicken Little.
Yeah. The art I have here, for Wish, it looks just like a girl that's looking into a distance at night, and then there's like a observatory out there, and it looks like she's like in maybe Europe, and there is a little goat or donkey next to her, but this girl looks South Asian maybe, with long hair, wearing purple dress, and sitting in a tree, looking out to the distance.
It's Ariana DeBose, so I doubt it's going to be South Asian. I'd say probably more Spanish.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, definitely has a tan to her. I don't really know specifically, but yeah. Wish, man, that's a lot of pressure for a movie to be the one.
It looks vague, super vague.
But it's directed from the person that did Frozen and worked on Zootopia and Raya and Moana, so it's in good hands, I guess.
And it has Alan Tudyk, hopefully voicing something instead of just animal noises.
Yeah. We got news about a Star Wars movie. Rogue Squadron was supposed to come out next year, and that got just taken off the release schedule entirely.
I bet Patty Jenkins is busy with Wonder Woman 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't catch a break. I mean, she directs Monster, and then it's almost a decade before she does another movie. Then she does 2 Wonder Woman movies, and now her Star Wars movies gets yeeted off the schedule.
Yeah, but like I'm just so tired of Star Wars. Just so much content, it's not needed. You're stretching it way too thin. It don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they learn anything from Solo? I mean, that thing crashed and burned hard, and part of it is too much content. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jacob, you're probably the only one other person besides me that's played the Rogue Squadron video games that this might be inspired from. What are your thoughts on those games?
I haven't played them.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. I'm sorry for assuming.
Yeah.
And of course, I haven't played them either.
So I've played them. They basically they're on the first one came out on Nintendo 64. I think it was like 98 or 99 in that range. And the second one came out on the GameCube as a launch title, and the third one came out on the GameCube later. Now, these games you play as pilots, in X-Wings or Y-Wings or whatever, and you just, fly around and shoot them up. The first 2 games were high-quality stuff. The third game was not as good. It was more or less an excuse to be able to play many of the noteworthy scenes from various Star Wars movies. The first Rogue Squadron was actually really interesting in that it actually had some assets for Episode 1 no one knew about it until release, like years later, which was like, I don't know how awesome they were able to do that back then. And the second game was pretty awesome in visuals for the GameCube. And one of the really rare games to actually have audio commentary from the people that made the game. As you play,
that's cool.
As you play the game. But yeah, it was more or less just, you fly around and you shoot things and, okay, go over there, help shoot the run, and help what is that called? The run where they try to kill the Death Star run. Yeah. And just go over there and shoot those things. And it's actually a pretty fun series of games. But after the third one, I don't think they made any other ones. If they have, I haven't noticed them. But it's been a long time since that game series was out and about on the GameCube and N64 back then. So it was a pretty fun. I don't think it really did anything new to the lore. It just kind of gave you an excuse to play those different levels and shoot them up kind of thing. Kind of like Star Fox.
Yeah, I think Star Wars should just stay in video game form now because I don't know. There you could go more creative with the stories and the characters. You know, like that one, most recent game with the guy from Gotham was pretty good. And they should just stop doing the TV shows and movies for at least a little bit. I'm so sick and tired of it.
Yeah. And I'm so over the Skywalker saga and anything adjacent to it.
Yeah.
Now, there is a Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3D game that does exist for, I think, the PC. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's on Steam, actually. So
okay.
That's, it might be the newest way to play a Rogue Squadron game, because I don't think they ever re-released these games. So I don't think they could get them easily on... you might be able to get them because they had printed a lot of copies, but they never re-released them in any packages that I know of. But it's just, an excuse to play different missions in Star Wars, and it was fun. It was a very fun Star Fox kind of 3D shooter. So it's sad. It was kind of a fun way to have a different kind of Star Wars movie, more about aerial fights than actual characters and stuff, and lightsabers. So it's a little bit sad because I do love those games, but it's been so long. I understand why the franchise may not be as popular, but it's also sad that they can't get their act together and figure out what to do with Star Wars. Still feels like they're making stuff up as they move along.
Yeah, we need something that prints money fast.
And it's just no plan. There's no plan for Star Wars, which is so frustrating. Like, I don't think people, when they made Obi-Wan, they had any idea what's going on with other Andor show, or I don't think they've connected very well with the other shows either. So it's just kind of weird. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen any of it. I'm so over it. I just was like, yeah.
I'm interested in seeing Obi-Wan. I've heard it was good, but I'm not, I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I might watch it on vacation soon, but I may watch, I don't know. My wife wants to watch other Star Wars movies before we watch that, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to watch 1 and 2 again.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of need to watch 1 and 2, or not need to, but you should, in theory, watch it before you watch Obi-Wan, because they're connected. But yeah. So what else is going on? Oh, we got Constantine 2 news, and this is starring the great Keanu Reeves, which is a sequel to that Constantine movie that came out a long time ago. That's totally unexpected news.
Yeah. And
wait, there's a Constantine movie?
And I'm like, why? The terrible movie. It's one of the worst things Keanu Reeves' name was ever on. Completely, totally trashed the character.
It released in 2005, and it was pretty mediocre. The Constantine TV show, on the other hand, was actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And
Matt Ryan,
like
Constantine.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so they announced a sequel to the Keanu Reeves Constantine, because I was aware of the first one, but they're making a second one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why?
Because Keanu.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, there's no statute of limitations on sequels.
But
why?
It's like the movie just wasn't a big hit. I don't think it was a hit at all.
No.
What, are they laundering money for the Russian mob or something? I mean, what the hell?
Is Warner? I assume Warner Brothers is going to make this as a DC property, but why? It's just what they canceled Firefly for this.
Yeah, they shit canned Batgirl, and there's no way the Batgirl movie was worse than Constantine.
So apparently, the guy who's on the chat with us, he said that J.J. Abrams is going to be a producer on it. A Patreon. That's man.
Yeah. The total box office for the 2005 Constantine, by the way, is $230 million, which is pretty crappy for back then and now.
But I think it took million to make that movie or something close to it.
Yeah. So
Ugh.
I guess just because Keanu Reeves is really popular now, everyone loves him in the various movies he's been in recently. But
I don't. He's not a great actor. He's a great human being, but he's not a great actor. He's not even a good actor.
yeah, the first Constantine here, our patron, has joined us, and if you're a patron too, you can join listening in and helping this podcast. He said production for the Constantine movie is about 70 to 100 million, and obviously you take in maybe double that for depending on the advertising, marketing. So if it made only 250, I don't think that's enough, or 230. I don't think that's profitable, but I don't know.
I mean, it's probably just breaking even at that point.
If that, but there wasn't most people do not like that movie. They're not, and I agree, it's not a great movie. I've rewatched it like a couple of years ago, and it was like, yeah, it might be a 5 or a 6. It's not like a 2 or 3, but it's not that good. It's not worth rewatching, and it's a pretty crappy DC movie,
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just out of the blue. I guess Keanu Reeves has some sway. I guess John Wick movies are too popular that they have to make this. I don't know.
They're overrated in my opinion. The action is okay. It's just always the same thing.
I haven't watched the other movies. I only watched the first one. I was like, okay, I'm good. I enjoyed this. There's more. Maybe I'll watch it later. There's a third one. Okay, the fourth one. You know what? I don't know about this.
A TV series?
Yeah.
About the hotel, why?
I don't know. They had some guys get together and do did a rip-off movie about a similar hotel with people like Jodie Foster and Sterling K. Brown and
Hotel Artemis.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
Now, you mentioned this before, Jake, that Matt Ryan was on the TV show, and I did really enjoy the first season of that show. It only had one season on NBC, but then they got him to be on the Arrowverse, and he was co-starring on a couple episodes, and he was in like the last 2-3 seasons of Legends of Tomorrow. So I love him as Constantine. I think he's way better.
Voiced some animated features for Warner Animation. I mean, he was spot on. I mean, he was perfect for the part.
He was charismatic. He was likable. It worked so well, and that's why they kept him around for like 2 seasons of Legends. So it was, give him the movie for God's sakes, not Keanu.
Yeah, but he's not a tested name.
True.
He's not like a marquee name.
And Kiana is Constantine.
So apparently the Madam Web movie got pushed to 2024, and Craven is going to be an October 23 movie. Yay!
Oh, that smells like another Morbius.
Yeah. Madam Web. There's a lot there, lore, but I don't know how you make that movie work.
They miscast it with Dakota Johnson. First of all, I feel. And same thing with Aaron Taylor Johnson as Craven the Hunter. It's just why?
Casting.
I don't trust at all the Sony Marvel universe at all. I mean,
yeah.
They don't have anybody there making decisions that has any feel for the material.
Yeah, it's just they're trying. It's the same thing with the Sinister Six thing from 10 years ago with the Sony hack. It's like,
yeah, the Venom movies were accidentally
enjoyable
with more unintentional humor that makes them watchable.
They're a turn in the wind.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes I think about that, and I was like, "Who the hell wrote that?" Seriously,
the comic book writer did.
It's so terrible.
It's directly from the comic book, though.
Well, Venom wasn't exactly No, people did not read the comics for the sparkling dialogue. Let's just say that.
There's a Black Cat movie coming out now. Jesus.
Now, if it was the Harvey version of Black Cat, I'd be excited, but I don't trust it. Of course, I'm starting to wonder if Sony's doing what Warner Brothers does, just announce a project to pump up their stock price and has no intention of making any of this stuff.
Now, that's a good thing you mentioned, Jake, because I worry about some of these animated movies from Disney if they will ever actually get released. I guess Wish might be ready to go because that's supposed to come out next November, but Elemental and Elio may be vaporware. There's been several Pixar movies, Disney animated movies that go nowhere, and we just, we see a still image and production art, and we never hear from it again. And that's how maybe.
Yeah,
kind of like Newt. Newt was like that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of stuff is getting more and more like that because they can just make an announcement and it pumps their stock price, and
then they cancel it.
Mhm.
Just like
and they quietly cancel it.
Like Batwoman.
Or, they'll just dump it on Disney Plus and like, oh, here's a trailer. And it's like, wait, like Pinocchio, I didn't know that was in development. It just released it. And
I was aware of it. But like a lot of people are hating that Pinocchio movie.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. And you heard looks like there's going to be a bidding war for Hulu between Universal and Disney.
Mm.
So, it's just same thing with that Cars sequel. I think it's like on Disney Plus. I never heard of that before. They just dumped it on Disney Plus. So maybe they're.
Is that a TV show?
I think it's like a direct to home movie.
After the second Cars movie, who cares what they do with Cars?
Mm. I mean, it's a big merchandising opportunity. Okay, Cars on the Road is a TV show.
Was as bad as the second Toy Story movie was good.
I've heard the third one is actually pretty decent, but I gave up watching Cars halfway through the first movie. So
the first Cars movie was decent, but it's just like the first big dip in quality from Pixar, and then it got back up there. Then Cars 2, just most of the Pixar movies after Cars 2 just seem to be
Paul Newman in Cars.
Yeah, it was like his last movie.
Yeah, exactly. So it hit the feels for me, and I like old Cars, so it scratched an itch.
I watched it at home, and I was working at Blockbuster Video, and I got to rent the movies before they came out on DVD, and halfway through, my friend and I were like, boring, and we just gave up and just stopped watching it, and we're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Even though it was free for me, I didn't care enough to stop it.
Yeah, a little mater goes a long ways.
Yeah, and then they made him the star of Cars 2.
Yeah. And that whole stupid spy plot, and I really hope Michael Caine was able to buy him a house, another house, or something. I mean, this wasn't fun. Like this wasn't as fun as like his Jaws movie.
I have not seen Calls 2, but the house it's made is beautiful, or whatever he said. Whenever about Jaws,
exactly.
Now, when I'm at the theater, I don't remember ever walking out in a movie. When I'm at home and watching it on disc or streaming, I've given up on quite a few movies, and quite a few big movies at that. This one might be sacrilegious to some people, but I got to halfway point in Lawrence of Arabia, and I was like, boring, and gave up on that movie. I know everyone considers that the best movie of all time. I thought it was super boring and slow.
It's beautiful, but man, is it long.
David Lean is an acquired taste. I have it, but I can like Ryan's daughter. I would rather have dental surgery than see that movie again.
And the first Hobbit live action movie from Warner Brothers, I was like, oh, this tone is just keeps switching from being silly to being serious. And like I stopped the Blu-ray and I was like, how much time do I got left? And I was like, oh, I got like an hour and a half left. I was like, you know what? I'll just play video games.
Yeah. Ralph Baskey's a director of his time, and his stuff hasn't aged well.
Fritz the Cat, anyone?
Yeah.
And like knowing that there was going to be 2 more movies of Hobbit, I was like, I'm out. you know what? I have an hour and a half into this one. I'm not liking it. I'm out. And I never dared to finish it. I never watched Hobbit 2 or 3. I just stopped caring. So there's very few movies that I will just stop halfway and be like, boring. And, it's kind of, it's a little bit easier to do that now when you're streaming and you're like, I don't care about this. But I've seen a lot of really bad movies on streaming too that sometimes you want to see how it ends, because it's such a train wreck.
And sometimes the worst movies are the most entertaining.
Yeah.
That's why Morbius
Jaws,
is in the top 10.
like Jaws 3, that's my Sharknado.
But Sharknado is intentionally made to be bad, whereas Jaws 3 probably had good intentions.
I know, but the thing is, Sharknado is bad.
But intentionally so, which it defeats the purpose.
It's boring. Jaws 3, a lot of things, boring it is not.
Yeah.
So, okay, of the movies we talked about today, I think for the most part, all of them will be 3D. I don't know about the not Harrison Ford, but Indiana Jones 5. I hope that would be.
Oh, no, it is. That is, pretty much confirmed by Real D 3D.
Constantine 2, I have no idea about with Warner Brothers.
Don't really care about it. Hopefully it gets canceled.
But all the live action and animated movies, that's easy. Disney pretty much delivers on all those ends, so I expect those to get released in 3D. So we'll see. All right, that's going to wrap up the show for non-patrons. For patrons, stick around for your bonus features. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right, before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Mr. Bungle 5, Kano 3D, Gravity Head Zero, Alex Folk, and Kevin Winter for your financial support on Patreon.com. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye.